from the last time I saw you, bruv, there was a time after that I thought, they think I'm done, bruv. Like, I'm not gonna say who it was, yeah, because I don't want to draw anyone out, but someone that I've really looked up to, like, in my career and growing up. Honestly, if I'm honest, it's like, in the last 18 months, I would say, I felt really, like, written off. Like, I felt like everyone was, like, writing me off. Do you know what I mean? But, and obviously you've met me before, you know I'm like the least arrogant person ever, bruv. Like, but, like, now I feel like, oh, I told you so. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but it's that in a way where this is hard work that's got me here and carried me through. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's just little things, man. Like, your name not getting mentioned in places where maybe you feel it should be mentioned. Maybe it shouldn't be mentioned, but I've felt at times that I'm not being mentioned maybe where I should be mentioned. Do you know what I mean? Or credited for having a success there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of things I've done is just gonna miss. Do you know what I mean? Like, because something else has happened that's been as popping or more popping. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's just how I felt, and I'm sure like a lot of artists feel like that. I'm sure loads of artists feel like that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, when I first started this, I didn't know how to make a song. I just knew how to spit, bruv. So a song like Chosen, it's just me doing what I've always known how to do. It's spit. And it's so crazy because, like, I get here now and I do Bestie or I do Take My Number, and that's 2 songs, say, yeah, or I'm cuffing season, say, that's 3 songs, yeah, that are girl songs. In my whole 5-6 years of career, I've done 3 girl songs, and you get questioned, oh, can Yungen spit? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but that doesn't bother me because I know I can go and do a Chosen. Do you know what I mean? And I see it bother a lot of people, but that doesn't bother me. Like, even my friends would say, like, bruv, you need to drop something hard, like, for the fans, bruv, the real fans, like, man like us, like, we need to drop something hard. But I always know that I'm capable of doing the Chosen, but I love doing Chosen. Do you get what I mean? I love doing stuff like that. Like, when I'm in the booth and I'm doing that, it's like, you can feel it, bruv. Like, and then when I'm doing the Bestie, it's more thoughtful. Like, it's more like, okay, cool, this sounds in now. And I also think that's being very intelligent as well, because it's like, to understand, oh, yo, that's what's in. Like, even being that smart to think, okay, cool, I think Young Bane would be perfect on this. Do you know what I mean? Like, just
A&R the track.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically. Like, but it comes from back to what you said before of people, me feeling like I've been like kind of like written off. Do you know what I mean? I've had to think. I've had to overthink and go, what can I do that's gonna change everything? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. As in, like, yeah, Chosen is something that, if Chosen broke through, yeah, I'm over the moon. Very, like, back to, like, be just, I feel like, think independently, innit? So, like, before, when I done 8 on 9, I done the remix. As soon as the remix was done, I shot the video, it come out a week later. Obviously, it doesn't work like that now. Do you know what I mean? I'm saying it's not that easy, but I was like that with Bestie. So we've made the song, and I was like, cool, this needs to go out. I'm going on tour in 2 weeks. But it's like, okay, that's not going to work, young. We need to shoot a video. We need to do this. Like, it's not that. And I was like, okay, cool. And I thought, what better way to do it? Young Bane's supporting me on tour.
Yeah.
If we perform it in every date, do you know what I mean? And do you know what? It was so sick. It was an accident, but it was so sick that it made them want it so much more because they knew it was coming. Do you know what I mean? So when it come out, it was like, oh, this is the tune that he performed on tour. Do you know what I mean? And it was a blessing.
As a creator, do you ever create from a space of doubt, if that makes sense?
You have it in your mind, isn't it? Like, that's me being honest with you. Like, I feel like I could be very honest with you. Yeah, you always have it in your mind, but I've never stopped my plan. Like, I'm always recording for an album. Always. Every time I record, I want to record a song that's for my album. Do you know what's crazy, yeah? Like, going back to, like, even being with Bestie, yeah? Bro, we hit some brick walls at the start of that campaign, bro. Like, we hit some brick walls at that start of that campaign, bruv. And I was just like, nah, this is a banger. Like, this is definitely a banger, bruv. Like, we can't stop here. And that's why it's lasted so long. And me and everyone on my team, like everyone at Sony, like everyone in my immediate team was like, no, we're gonna push this. This is a banger. Like, we kept them going, we kept them performing it, and then blessed to have probably the most exciting up and coming, I don't even know what to call him, like musician, like that's helped as well massively. Like, do you know what I mean? And he's going and performing it and shutting with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, no, but we hit some brick walls with that, but we just kept on going. And you saying that, what you just said there, I used to be like that. In the first week, if I ain't got a certain amount of views, I'm like, oh, it's a flop. You have that mentality, oh, what's the next one? But Bestie just kept on growing and growing and growing and growing. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what? Honestly, I've known for a long time what I want my first album to sound like and what I want it to be like, for a very long time, because like there's so much things I haven't said because I felt like it's for an album. Do you know what I mean? Or so many things I've left out. Like there's some songs that I've made 3 years ago that I've like, this is for my album. I'm not even touching this. And there's times that...
But you said a lot already, bro.
No, I've said a lot, but there's so much I haven't said, or there's so much I've said, but yeah, like I can really go into this, you know? Like I've said like little dribs and drabs, like, here we go, like, or here we go, but there's so much that people don't actually know. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, like I said, I've had songs for years that I know it's for an album, but I'm gonna go and revisit and change a little things because things have changed. Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, like last project I dropped was 3 years ago. Like 3 years ago, and that's this year. Obviously, our album is not gonna come this side of the year, but to me, it's so important. Yeah, like my projects, I don't want to just throw out 20 mixtapes, throw a mixtape out every year just to. Like, I want you to listen to my album and think, like, wow, like this is good, top to bottom, and especially in a time now where music comes and goes, bruv. Like, there's sick projects that we're not really taking in because music's coming and going, bruv. I've realized sometimes you're not as big as you think you are until you have a moment like what I've had with Bestie, and I was like, wow, like maybe this is what it's really like to feel big. Do you know what I mean? But then I also know there's so much bigger now, if that makes sense. Like, I remember, like, I had 8 or 9, for example, and I remember feeling like I had the biggest street tune, and I remember feeling like I'm massive now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, without saying it, but I remember feeling like I could go to a show and I'm massive now. Like, they know this song. And there's a lot of shows I went to and they didn't know it. And that's me telling the gods on the truth with you. Like, there's a lot, even like now, there's loads of shows I go to and I do 8 or 9 and they're looking at me like, yeah, bro, we didn't come in for this. Like, do you know what I mean? But a song like, having the success I've had with my last track, I can go anywhere now and they know it. But then there's still, I say that, but then there's still places I go and they're looking at me like, yeah, we don't really know this. There's like, you're never too big. Yeah, you're never. Do you know? There's always more, bruv. If that makes sense. And also, like, just, and this might sound so cliche, but you never give up, bruv. Because like I said, from the last time I saw you, bruv, there was a time after that I thought, they think I'm done, bruv. Like, I'm not gonna say who it was, yeah, because I don't want to draw anyone out, but someone that I've really looked up to, like, in my career and growing up. I watched them say something, bruv, on an interview and say, like, they actually said, bruv, is Yungen finished now? And I thought, what? Like, people actually think I'm done. Like, and that day was the, no, I'm not done, you know? Like, hold on, they actually questioning this. Cool. I remember that interview is always gonna stay, and I spoke to him about it already. Like, and he was like, no, I didn't mean it like that. And I knew he didn't mean it like that. He was saying that people would be asking that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, is he done now? Like, and I thought, raw, is that a question? And then, but then that made me realize, like, made me think of so many people that's come and they've had a few years and they've had a bit of success, and then they go, it's over. And I'm like, yeah, I'm never being that kid, man. Like, I'm never being that guy, man. I'm never giving up. I wanna be here for years, like the Giggses and the Wretches and Skepta and these people that have been here for years, bruv. Like, that's not always been at the peak, not always been the biggest, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like, but they're here. They drop something, you're listening, bruv. Kreplin Conan, like, do you know what I mean? They could go away for 2 years and come back and everyone stops what they're doing to go and listen. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be one of them guys, bruv. Like, and that's because of my passion, bruv. Like, I wanna be one of them guys. Like, I'm just trying to understand it, man. So that's probably one of the biggest lessons. Isn't it? I told you with you, I always feel like I can be like 100% honest, bruv. Like, there's not a lot of people that, it's always like usually like, yo, this, that, and that. Like, with you, I feel like you care and you're actually, you see, like, even you bringing up Chosen, bruv. Like, that just shows me, like, yeah, you care, bruv. Like, that means a lot, bruv. So, man, one more thing, and I really want to touch on this, yeah. It's been so crazy for me, yeah, because you gotta remember, I'm a kid. I come from an estate, bruv. Like, I come from, like, proper the streets, bruv. Like, not saying that I'm the baddest boy in the world. I'm not saying that I've been the bad boy or I've been like I'm not saying that, yeah. But I've come from the streets, bruv, the proper roads, bruv. Like, my brethren are in jail and dead and all of that. Do you know what I mean? And I've come from that. And I remember at the start, everyone was like, you should make girl tunes. You should make girl tunes. And I'm like, what? Do you know where I come from? Like, that's not, we don't care. Like, that's not my thing. Right now, this is all I know. And I go and I have ain't on nothing. That's a street success. Yeah, but that's just being me, just being on my ends. Sneakbo, who's my friend, doing a song with my friend. Like, it's not a forced collaboration. Like, and then everyone going, no, you shouldn't be doing that. And I remember hearing that, hitting that brick wall, like, yeah, this tune's hard, but you don't need to do that. You need to do girl songs. Bro, I go on and I finally get to a place in my life, I'm not involved in that no more. Like, I don't live on the estate no more. If I be talking estate stuff, I'll be lying to you. Even though I go to my block all the time. But if yeah, man's on the block with 100 man, I'm lying. Bro, I'm not. Bro, I'm doing strolls, I'm in the studio, I'm linking girls, yeah, I'm overseas. Like, but I get to this point now where I can actually finally feel comfortable to make her take my number, for example. And then they go, oh, why are you making girl songs? And it's like, and I'm talking industry. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? And I never forget, like, after Comfy and that, everyone was like, yo, make Grand. But I've made Comfy because I like the beat. And I love spitting, bro. So when I go and make Comfy, it's just spraying. I had fun doing that. But I also love Take My Number. Do you get what I mean? And everyone was going like, do grime. And I'm like, no, I don't want to stay in one lane. That's not me. I've done 8 on 9. I've done Comfy. I've done Take My Number. I've done Bestie. I've done All Night. They're all different sort of songs. Do you get what I mean? I've done Off the Record 2. Do you get what I mean? Like, Off the Record 1 and 2, like, do you get what I mean? There's people, and like you said, you come to Coco, you see that there's people that's there for Off the Record, bruv. We're coming to hear you do Off the Record, youngs. Like, people even now tweet me, like, coming up to this up and coming tour, like, make sure you do Off the Record, like, make sure you do Hometown. Like, people want to hear me do that. But yeah, one thing, you can't always please everyone, man, and you just got to be happy within yourself, like. And I'm proper happy. Like, when I made Bestie, I never thought, oh, is this a risk? Like, never thought that. I put out Bestie because I thought it was a banger. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's the God's honest truth. I put out All Night because I feel it's a banger. Do you know what I mean? Put out Chosen same way because I feel it's a banger. Like, I never want to be like, put out something just because I feel like, oh yeah, let's try that. And I'm lucky, I'm blessed to have a team that just allow me to do that. You know what I mean? Do you know what's crazy is that I feel like, with my mum and my dad, I feel like they've always like wanted the best for me, innit, and wanted me to be something like. And like, from a kid, my dad used to, like, education was so important. Do you know what I mean? And then I got kicked out of school, and it was like, yeah, you let me down or something. Like, do you know what I mean? You're meant to be smart. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and in my head, I'm like, no, I promise you, like, I'm good, man. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. When a lot of the time I didn't know what I was doing, but I always had this dream. Do you know what I mean? And cool, music, my plan A, B, C, D, E, F. Do you know what I mean? That's my plan, like, and it's gonna work. So even little stuff like for me, my dad to hear me on Capital Extra is a big thing to him. Do you know what I mean? Or like my mum's not really in tune like that as much as like my dad is. My mum like me going gold is like, you went gold? Like she still can't believe I've gone gold. Do you know what I mean? Like, but she doesn't understand what it means until like everyone's, oh, your son's doing really well, and then that's what makes her, oh, okay, maybe he's actually doing really good. Do you know what I mean? And financially, I can help her a lot more now. That's where she can see like, bro, I've been broke, fam. Like, this is the best way to put it, or honest way to put it. I've been broke, fam, and I can't ever be broke again. That's always like in my heart and in my mind. Like, if you look, like, not saying there's anything wrong with this, but I don't own one piece of jewelry, bro. Because, and don't get me wrong, I love chains, I love watches. Like, I want an iced out chain, bro. Like, but I also understand that I've got to be so good before I do that. Like, so good, like where that doesn't hurt me at all. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I want to sort my mums out first, sort my dad out, sort my sisters and brother out first, like sort myself out, like, which I've been blessed enough to be able to do most of so far. Do you know what I mean? But there's still a lot more. Do you know what I mean? My people are still in the ends, bro, and that's like, I can't save everyone. Like, I can't save everyone. Like, I've got to also think about myself first. But that means a lot to me. Like, as much as I can help, I will, bro.